So here we are at Robot Dog Studio under the watchful eyes and ears of Sam Mark and Ryan Cohen. Tonight I'm joined by Linda Bassick. How's it going?
It's going great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's been great chatting with you for a little bit as we're getting warmed up, and I'm so psyched to hear you play some music. What are you going to open with tonight?
I'm going to open with a song called Leave It Alone.
Nice.
Leave it alone. I'll do it on my own. Weary to the bone. Leave it alone. I am home. I know inside my soul that in spite of all this cold, it will be warm. Like an arm around my back, and I know I'm not alone. When I feel it, I'm at ease. The force now in motion all around. Let it go. Let it rise up in the air. Let it dissipate and clear once again. Leave it alone. Do it on my own. I'm weary to the bone. Leave it alone. I have grown. Been shown no need to bear that load all alone. And I feel it on my skin, pounding in my chest, and I know I'm not alone, no. When I feel it, I'm at ease. The force now all around, let it go. Let it rise up in the air. Let it dissipate and clear once again. Leave it alone.
Yay!
Thank you. Thanks, guys. So nice to have an audience.
Yeah. So nice to have a performer, too. Kind of works well that way with both of us.
It sure does.
That song seemed to have some hints of anxiety, but sort of some hints of contentment about it, too. Do you want to talk a little bit about that song?
Yeah. It's a song I wrote a long time ago, but it seems to have a lot of appropriateness in the current time.
Yeah.
It's just about figuring out how to be alone, but also like figuring out how to ask for help when you need help too, and like not just be a toddler. Like, no, I'll do it myself, because that's sort of my default. When I'm stressed, I just like, no, I'll take care of it myself.
Yeah.
So it's more about like learning to be okay with yourself, and then also to know that there are people around you that give a crap about you.
That's cool.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I kind of have the same thing too, where I just want to like fix it all myself. But
So much easier.
But you really kind of have to work with everyone else as much as possible too. Yeah, so this is in the pandemic. How's your pandemic been going? What are your big struggles and best achievements or whatever?
You know, the whole beginning of it, when everything was just being canceled, that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we were working towards the cruise for Mellow Yellow, so like we were practicing really hard, and then all of a sudden, no practicing. You know, it's a weird energy thing that you're working towards something and you're building and building and building, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
So there was this energy suck kind of thing. But I've been working on a kids CD and a kids album that we hope to actually have animated.
Nice.
And that is moving forward slowly but surely in the pandemic. So I've been able to work on that a little bit. And I refinished a pop-up camper.
Oh, wow.
Because I had a lot of angst I needed to work out. So I ripped apart a thing and rebuilt it. And that was
Nice.
kind of cool.
Sounds practical.
Yeah, I try to keep myself busy. Gardening and whatnot, It's tricky now.
Yeah. Yeah, I sell online gardening equipment, and our business has been through the roof this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, self-sufficiency is a good thing.
Yes, very much.
Definitely.
Okay, what are you going to play next?
I'm going to play another one about being alone.
Okay.
Sort of. Actually, this one is more about contemplating death, which I think is somewhat appropriate in these times, too.
Yeah.
And there's sort of a funny, when I was writing this song, I was thinking more about when somebody dies, people bake cakes, it's like, oh, somebody died, here's a lasagna, here's a whatever. And somebody had died and my mom was busy baking. And I was like, that's interesting. I wonder who will bake a cake when I'm dead, that was sort of, so like the beginning, the words were like, if I died, who would bake a cake? But I took the bake a cake part out of it. It's not in the song. So you won't see that, but that's where the song came from, that thought.
Okay, what's it called?
It's called 1 from 2.
Nice.
It's a math problem. Striving to think about 1 from 2. You wake up in the morning wondering, where are you? You worry and you puzzle over what to do, and you try not to think about it. If I died in this moment, how would it go down? Would I keel over backwards as I tumble to the ground? Will I go when I'm sleeping? Will I go when I'm awake? If I died in this moment, well, I could die in this moment. I could die. Try not to think about it. It's killing me. Whoa. Oh. If I died in this moment, what would it be like? Would I be fully aware of the exit of the light? When my heart stops beating, will I feel any pain? If I died in this moment, well, I could die in this moment. Well, I could die. Try not to think about it. Oh, it's killing me. But I try not to think about it. Oh, 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 oh.
Yay!
Thank you.
Oh, I love that song.
Thank you. I don't know if you know that that's on one of my albums.
Yeah.
It's like the first cut off of Output, which was a record that I made after watching all these lovely musicians around our area. I like to see the music like you do, Tim.
Yeah.
I've seen you at lots and lots and lots of
Oh,
shows.
yeah.
And lots of these people, like that song particularly was influenced by going to see the soul band at the Radio Bean so many billions of times.
Oh, nice.
And if you listen to it on the record, like I have Miriam singing backup on one of them, and I'm
nice.
playing trombone, and there's all kinds of stuff happening. It's a lot busier on the record than it was just now, but
Yeah, something about that song is just so catchy, and I've just always loved it.
Oh,
so
thank
it's
you.
really psyched that you played it
Oh,
tonight.
cool. I'm glad
And
you
yeah,
like
this
it.
is a different version, but it's really good.
just me. And that's like when I play solo shows, that's the way I play it. So
Yeah. Okay, what are you going to play next?
the next one is off that. These 3 songs are off Output record I put out a few years ago, and this one is called "The List of Shoulds" because we're always shoulding on ourselves, and so it's about not doing that.
Okay.
It's about not shoulding on yourself. You can say that on the radio, right?
Absolutely.
I want to be here and yet I run. Sometimes it's too much to see the smiles on everyone. Why does it seem like I'm staring down the barrel of a gun? I want to be here and yet I run. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I want to go out and yet stay in. It's not like either one is a mortal sin. Nobody really cares the shape my shoes are in. Want to go out and yet stay in. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Forget all about what you should do. That list of shoulds is gonna be the death of you. Anyway, who's keeping track of all the things you do? Burn that list if I were you. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Okay.
Yay!
So that song, all the songs on the record were influenced by music that I had seen, mostly at the Radio Bean, honestly. But like the first one, "Leave It Alone," was influenced by going to Honky Tonk.
Okay.
And actually, on the album, Brett Lanier is playing pedal steel.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of cool, little cameo appearance. And the last one from 2, was kind of influenced by the soul band. And then this past one was kind of influenced by the Smittens.
Okay.
I don't know if you hear it or whatever, but I don't know if people know that or hear it in any way, but that's just like what influenced me to write the song. So I don't know.
That's
whether
cool.
It comes out in any way, but
Yeah, I didn't necessarily make that connection,
No.
but I'll have to listen to it again with that in mind.
and I don't know. There's like this one little chord change that I do that I think is smitteny. I don't know. Maybe I'm, it's just whatever. However they affected me, it's affected me in that way or whatever.
That's cool. Yeah, they're such a kind of magnetic band. There's like
Definitely.
there's something just really attractive about them, and their
Super
songs
fun.
are so just make you smile.
Really fun and positive, and it might even be that I saw them play a show and then I wrote that song. It could be that, but I do remember that I think of the Smittens when I play that song. So
So one of the things that you mentioned earlier was doing a kids album. So you've also done a lot with the youth of our community in varying ways, both playing to kids on the what's it, Friday mornings at Radio
Yeah.
Bean, and then also working with Girls Rock for Vermont. So do you want to talk a little bit about those influences?
yeah, well, I don't know if people know about me, but I'm a certified teacher, and I've been working with young children since the 80s. So that's always been a part of my life, working for kids.
Nice.
And so that part of my life has always been there, and not always obvious to the people who I'm playing music for. But as I moved to Vermont, I was like director of a childcare center, and I was like playing in a band at night, and things were very separated. I kept my nightlife, and my day life. But as I have come to this part of my life, things have molded a little better together, where my day life and my nightlife are all sort of mixed together, working with kids and playing music and teaching kids music, and it's all the same now. So I don't know if that answers your question at all, but Girls Rock isn't doing very much right now because of the pandemic. We weren't able to do in-person programming this summer. We're hoping to do something next summer. We need lots of volunteer input for that to happen. I was supposed to have stepped aside from... I've been director of Girls Rock for 10 years. This would have been my 10th year. It's time for me to step aside and let some young leadership in. And hopefully after this ends, people will find time to come and dedicate to that program, and we can keep it moving.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing, especially
really
getting girls to get the confidence to just go out there and rock as hard as the boys, because they certainly can.
Oh,
I've seen it
absolutely.
so many times, and it's just like, give them the tools, give anyone the tools and the opportunity, and they're going to like stand up and do something amazing, I find.
Definitely. And we've been able to, we have a gear loan program, so we loaned out a lot of our gear after camp last year. And so I just let the kids keep the gear that wanted to. Some kids brought gear back, and then we loaned out a few more things. So we loaned out like a lot of drum sets, a lot of bass rigs, and ukuleles, and all kinds of things, microphones, whatever kids need. We tried to get that in their hands so that they can keep playing through this. If they're stuck at home, they might as well be making music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And the kids thing, I'm working on a kids album right now with Greg Rothwell. We wrote a bunch of songs before the pandemic, and now we are working on recording that. And we are also working with an illustrator who is going to come up with some drawings, and we're hoping to animate it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a story
That's
about
cool.
a young child. It's like the young child's morning.
Nice.
Pretty cool. But the next song that I want to play is a song that, it's not a kid song, but it's a song that I collaborated with Greg to write. He sent me the music last Christmas, and I mulled it over and listened to it for a few days, and there was some sort of lunar thing happening, maybe a lunar eclipse was happening, and so I was thinking about the moon and the sun and about their relationship and how it sort of stinks because they can never be together. And so I wrote this song about that.
Nice.
That's what this song is about.
Oh, what's it called?
It's called Not the Moon.
Nice.
I am not the moon, not the moon. The moon loved the sun so long ago. The sun roared oblivious, the moon spun alone. I am not the moon, you are not the sun. The sun's up there shining down on everyone, lighting up the day, shining on your face. It keeps spinning there in outer space. The moon loved the sun so long ago. The sun shone oblivious, ago. The sun roared oblivious, the moon spun alone.
Yay!
Thank you. It's a fade out.
Yeah, it's fun to listen and trying to figure out when exactly the songs are done because I don't want to clap over any part of it. So. Yeah, something about that song just really kind of, I just love the kind of swells of it and the way it flows. And the idea of the sun and the moon kind of being apart is kind of cool, but they're so interrelated too, because you would never see the moon if it wasn't for the sun.
That's right. But they can never be together.
Exactly.
And that was like really freaking me out. Like that, like when I was writing the song, I was like really bummed out about it. And I looked up, there's a lot of stories about the sun and the moon. There's a lot of fables and stuff like that. So I was like watching all these little videos and stuff. And then there was one that I found and I had forgotten that the earth is there. Mm. And this other video that I saw was like the earth was like, had a relationship with the moon, but also has a relationship with the sun. Mm-hmm. And it was like this interesting animation. And I was like, oh, the moon's not alone.
Yeah.
The moon has the earth.
That's so cool. So I think this weekend there's an album coming out that you have a song on. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. My good friend Josh Glass, like about 6 years ago, decided to put together a Christmas album. And so all of our talented friends around here went over to his little apartment and sang and played, and he recorded us, and he, put it together and put it out for free, and just like for everyone to have some good cheer. And this year he was feeling like he wanted to doctor it up a little bit, and so he asked us to like redo some tracks, and he added a lot of things and he changed it. And I think there might be some new tracks on it too.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think there's some new people that are involved this time. So I think that's what, Sunday? The 6th?
I think Sunday. Yeah. That's what I heard last.
So that can be in your Christmas rotation or your holiday rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. And another cool thing about you is you mentioned earlier your band Mellow Yellow. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and what cruise you might have been on this year or if things hadn't shut down?
Well, we were supposed to go.
But it has happened in the last few years.
It has happened. Since 2013, every year we've gone on a cruise, except for 1 year we didn't go. But
that's the Moody Blues cruise?
Yeah, it was the Moody Blues. The original cruise was the Moody Blues cruise. The first 4 cruises were that. And I think one in between there, we headlined a cruise called the Songs of the 60s cruise for the same line. And now the past 2 cruises were called On the Blue cruise because the Moody Blues were no longer doing it, but Justin Hayward was headlining.
Okay.
And a lot of the same bands, which we've gotten to know over the past few years, were on the boat. So it's like vacationing with these people every year. It's really fun. And I was really sad to miss it this year.
Yeah,
it was going to be good. But I have to admit, when they set the date for the cruise, I was skeptical because we were supposed to go out on April 1st. Mm. And I was like, really? April Fool's Day? That's interesting. And I think I was like, no, haha, you're not actually going on this cruise. But yeah, Mellow Yellow is really fun to play with. And I've been having such a good time. And yeah, pretty much everything dried up for us right now. So we're just like waiting to see what happens next.
Oh, well, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah. It looks like the production company is doing they do a Monsters of Rock cruise as well.
Okay.
And instead of that, next year they have some sort of Monster Island planned. So like some sort of socially distanced, safe thing happening. I just got an email about that. So I was like, well, that's encouraging. Maybe they'll be doing something similar for the On the Blue cruise.
Yeah, there's so many creative people out there trying to figure out new ways to do this while we can get together without getting together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Or getting together and keeping our distance and being able to enjoy each other from the distance. Yeah.
Like tonight.
Like today. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, what do you want to play next?
This is another new one. It's not on any CD, and it's called Too Busy Thinking. And it's I just think it's really appropriate for right now. But I didn't write it about the pandemic. I wrote it about sort of having inappropriate crushes on people and just thinking about them, but not actually talking to them about it, that kind of thing. So that's what it's really about, but it really fits with the pandemic. Well, you'll see. You'll see why. All right.
And what's it called again?
It's called Too Busy Thinking.
Too Busy Thinking. Nice.
Did you ever get too busy thinking, Tim?
Yeah.
I'm not calling you up, I'm not seeing you out, I'm not having you over now. I'm not doing any of those things, 'cause I'm too busy thinking about you. We're not seeing a show, and we're not taking a walk, and we're not out at the movies now. I can't fit any of those things in, 'cause I'm too busy thinking about you. Sometime when the coast is clear and the time is right, I'll figure out if you've been engaged in a similar occupation as mine. I'm not hearing you laugh, I'm not seeing you smile, and we're not sharing the good times now. I'm not doing any of those things, 'cause I'm too busy thinking about you. Too busy thinking about you. I'm too busy thinking about you.
Yay! Oh my God, that is so perfect.
Isn't it? It's like I'm not at a show, I'm not going out, I'm not doing any of these things. And then I was like thinking, because I'm too busy thinking about all of you. I'm too busy thinking about you. So I need to wear my mask and make sure I'm being safe and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it works in the context that you were talking about, that you wrote it in, but now it works. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of my songs I was like, wow, these are really appropriate. I guess I was spending a lot of time alone before the pandemic.
Well, I really want to thank you so much for coming in and playing these great songs, and for making me smile and laugh, and hopefully doing the same for everybody else. Do you want to plug any social media or anything else before we head on out?
Sure, you can find me at LinderBTV on Instagram, or Linda Bassick on Facebook. You can follow me and see what I'm doing. Girls Rock Vermont is also something you can see me doing.
Nice.
And keep your eyes and ears out for the new kids album with Greg Rothwell. It's going to be coming out as soon as we can get it recorded.
Yeah. The little things.
Yes.
Well, again, thank you very much. And I really want to thank Sam and Ryan for doing the filming and recording, and for Robot Dog Studio for hosting. And let's head on back to the WBKM studio.